let me start by asking you, well, what was it surprising to see Boston win it all for you?
It was not. Boston had been that team all season. I was not surprised to see them take it, especially after you saw games one and two. It was obvious that as well as Dallas had played through the playoffs and the amazing run that Dallas had from back in the pack in the West, that the Boston Celtics were the kind of team that was going to put them on their heels. And that's exactly what happened. Finally, they were able to get a win in game four, the Mavericks were. And that was a brief glimmer of hope. But there's a reason when a team gets up 3-0,
Mhm.
it's like watching a lion eat a bull calf on the Nature Channel. I mean, it is predator time, and there's something about the raw competitive nature of the NBA and a lot of other pro sports, but particularly the NBA, where you just see all of that at once, and it was obvious with the Celtics.
In our last conversation, I asked you about Kyrie Irving. Would you agree with me if I said that I didn't really feel his presence in the finals, even though he did, but it wasn't really that noticeable.
Yes, I think that's exactly true. I think actually both Kyrie and Luca got to the finals and had trouble, obviously, against the Celtics. And Kyrie and Luca proved to be a dynamic duo. In the wake of the NBA Finals, the Mavericks are said to be looking for a third scorer. There was the idea that, oh, we don't need the third scorer anymore. That's what folks were saying as they watched the Mavericks run through the playoffs. It's now about the dynamic duo. Well, and I really don't know if it has to be this super third scorer, but I do think that the Celtics are a team that's very deep in a lot of ways and very talented. And so there's going to be some head scratching in Dallas, but they gained a lot of things the Mavericks did this semester. They made those late moves. They found young players that like Derek Lively who are going to work for them. Um, they got a sense of Luca and Kyrie really gaining a comfort level playing together. And so there are many things to build on, but they got slapped in the NBA finals. And so that woke them up. And so they are, I guarantee you, they're already thinking about the start to the new season. So it'll be interesting to see how Dallas handles this experience and what the Mavericks make of it.
So would you say they overachieved? I mean, nobody gave them a chance. Well, maybe the playoffs, but not the finals. Nobody saw Dallas making the finals.
I think they over, excuse me, I think they underachieved in the first half of the season.
Mhm.
And I think that management made some really smart moves, brought in some help. Obviously, it changed things dramatically. They improved the team chemistry. They sort of cleared the smoke around the Mavericks and got some clarity. And so they were able to find a way to play. I think you got to give Jason Kidd tremendous credit. He's a wise veteran coach. He's a smart guy, and he is an elder voice for his young stars. Kyrie's not so young anymore, but he's the but Jason Kidd is that guy. And so, no, I don't think they underachieved once they made those moves in midseason and added what they needed to add. And then I think things went together. I think they did quite well. No, I'm not. I'm not of the idea that they underachieved. I think they played to their potential, and now they have to look at things. That's competition, you know. It's I was fortunate to spend a good number of years coaching just
Mhm.
in AAU ball and youth leagues. But I wanted to coach because I really wanted to understand all the mentality that goes into a team. And that has helped me tremendously as a writer. And so I don't have a lot of negative feelings about the Mavericks. They just got to start over again and
Mhm.
keep building.
So anything is you see in the current team, the team we saw in the finals, will Dallas does Dallas need any tweaks or players, additional players? Would do you see anything?
Well, their role players, um, including Lively, played well. And in the finals, you saw the Celtics adjust some so that uh, because you saw in the Western Conference Finals, Luca penetrating, finding Lively and his other bigs right there, and lots of buckets and dunks off of penetration and really smart passing, the kinds of things Luca can do. But Boston was ready for that, and you know that there was not going to be a lot of easy feasting, no chicken wings, so to speak. They weren't going to be pulling wings off the grill and having a tasty time of it with the Celtics. They took a lot of that away. And so, you know, the Mavs, their players and coaches will spend the offseason looking at what happened to them in the finals. I don't think you could have a better blueprint for the next season, for the coming season, for the 2025 playoffs. And you can look at how you played and how grand that was getting you to the finals. And then you can look at how you got punched in the kisser, how the defense of the Celtics, and obviously their incredible play from their forwards worked really well. I think the whole takeaway for me from the finals is just how smart the Boston Celtics were and are. And I think that intelligence begins with their two incredible folks. I think that's just unreal how smart those guys are, um, how able they are to meet the moment. I think their coaching smart was sneaky smart. Um, Obviously, the top executive for the Celtics is getting a lot of credit. He used to be their coach, and that's great. Yeah, smart is as smart does, and the Celtics were smart top to bottom in that franchise. They have showed, one reason basketball has all these fans all over the globe is that not only is it a very physical game employing a lot of different elements of physicality from strength to leaping to the hand eye for all the fabulous shooting we see. Um, but it's also a huge game of chess. And, just figuring out how to take away what one team does. And so it wasn't nail biting exciting in the finals. The chess match literally was over early, but I do think that sets the agenda for 2024, 25 in the NBA. That chess match is going to sit there not just for the Mavericks, every team in the Eastern Conference, every team in the Western Conference, including the Denver Nuggets have had a chance to look at this. They're all going to be scratching their heads and trying to figure out how they're going to meet this challenge from the Celtics. And conversely, we'll get to find how the Celtics respond to success. You know, they chased the success for a while. People were antsy in Boston. They were thinking they might need to break that team up, you know, and they traded away an incredible defender, a revolutionary defender in Marcus Smart, who changed an awful lot of things about defending the screen and roll and other parts of the NBA. They traded away a great player to bring in what they did, and unfortunately, Kristaps Porzingis was injured throughout the playoffs. He came back a bit for the finals and had a big impact in game one, and then, you know, was limited again. But that's the other thing. What happens next season when they have Porzingis back for a full season? The thing that has got to be worrying for the NBA is that the Celtics have an opportunity to really grow and get better themselves. And that is sort of the challenge thrown down. And I guarantee you, it has executives and coaches gulping and wondering what the heck they're going to do to stand up to this.
You spoke about Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, his injury history is well documented. If it continues, do you think it's worth keep seeing? Will we see him last long with the Celtics?
I think so. I think he's part of the upside.
Mhm.
You recall when the Knicks drafted Porzingis, Phil Jackson, who was running the team then, made comments about the health liabilities of extremely tall players.
Mhm.
I don't think that is, Phil has a way of saying, has always had a way, particularly when he was in the spotlight, of saying sort of uncomfortable things, some of them mean, whatever. And so he was just stating a fact. I think that is the truth for a Wimby. I think it's the truth for all this, um, because these guys, these extremely tall players now in the NBA, they are multi-talented.
Mhm.
These are big men like we've never seen. That is the next level. The challenge for them will be the kinds of issues that are really a challenge for athletic big men. Always, think of Bill Walton's feet with the Portland Trailblazers. And this is not, Bill Walton is not extremely tall like the new generation, but this has always been an issue for um, extremely tall players, for 7-footers. And the giants of the game are people who find a way beyond health issues. And I just think with that level of player, they offer so much promise. You just have to take it a season at a time with them. I think that it was uh, an important move to have and to keep Kristaps Porzingis in the Celtics mix. I think that's an important thing.